this is Michael Kwong with Siphon Fitness, and today we're going to talk about working with tension in our hip flexors. Now, our hip flexors generally become tight from overuse, so we spend a lot of our day either sitting and behind a desk, behind a car, on a couch, and what that does is it causes our psoas muscle, the main hip flexor muscle, to shorten or tighten, and that needs to be worked with, and that if that doesn't, sometimes it can cause lower back pain. So today I'm going to show you some things that you can do to help alleviate some of that tension to decrease any soreness or pain in the lower back. So the first thing that we're going to do is use our foam roller. Now this is what the foam roller looks like. It's got different sizes, different firmness. Now if you're a beginner at this, I would say go with a softer foam roller and maybe work your way up. Or if you just like to tolerate the pain, go ahead and get the firmest one that you can find. All right. So for our hip flexor, we're going to start off on the side of the body and generally right at the side of the hip. So I'm going to just kind of point towards it over here on this side. And what I like to do is find that spot where the pocket usually goes and just roll right over it, right around to the edge of the front of the hip. Roll around a few times until you find a spot that feels tense and just hold it for about 30 seconds. And then find another spot here as you roll again. And then once you find that second spot, again, hold it for about 30 seconds. We did our right side, so we're going to stretch out the hip flexor. So this time we're going to go into this kneeling position. All right. And then the further you bring back the right knee into extension, the more stretch you're going to start to feel into the hip flexor itself. So what you want to do is be mindful of what your lower back positioning is. So you want to focus on creating some length here into your spine. What's easy is you can pull your abdomen in and contract. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. And that's going to help you support the lower back. So with the lower back straight, start to push the hip forward. And as you push the hip forward, you'll notice that the leg starts to go back into an extension. And you can maybe even start to squeeze the upper right thigh muscle to really engage that stretch here in that right hip. All right. Now, if you want to add a little bit more, you can start to reach your right hand up and then open up and reaching it over the head. So you're going to start to feel this big stretch here through the right side of the body. All right. And then as you slowly release, you can come out. Notice how that feels as you release the tension. So after we've foam rolled and stretched the hip flexor, what we're going to do next is to activate and engage the muscles on the opposite side of the body, which are typically a little weaker. So the muscles on the opposite side of the body is going to be our glutes. And when we do that, it's going to help to bring balance back into the hips. So let's start off in our bridge position. I'm going to lay down onto the ground, feet flat onto the ground, and go ahead and just lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Make sure your knees are in line with your toes, and just start to squeeze the muscles here in your glutes. Activate those muscles, engagement, and hold. If you want a little bit more, pick up your left foot off the ground and really engage the muscles in the right hip. Lift up a little bit higher. Exhale, lower, slowly down, and rest. We'll do that again. Press into the heels, lift up. Again, squeeze the muscles in the glutes. And if you want a little bit more, pick up that left foot, squeeze into the right hip a little bit, activate and engage, and slowly lower with control. And rest. So what I like to do after the stretching and the engagement of the muscles, I like to go into this what's called constructive rest. And what that's going to do is completely relax the hip complex. The muscles in your hip flexors, relax your glutes, and this gives us an opportunity to just start to let go of whatever we might have tension going on in the body. So what I like to do here is just grab a chair. You can do anything that looks like this. So a chair, either a bed or a couch. Go ahead and bring your feet all the way up onto the chair. Bring your head down, make sure you're comfortable. Maybe bring a pillow underneath your head if you need one. And just let your arms go out to the sides. And you can stay here for anywhere up to 5 to 10, maybe even 15, 20 minutes. Hopefully that gives you an idea of what you can do to help alleviate some tension in your hips. Now if you have any questions or you just want to go visit my website, go to siphonfitness.com and follow me on social media. Thank you, and hope to see you soon.